Jenifer, what is your character's predicament at the beginning of the film?
Her predicament. She's at a job and she's very well equipped and wants to get ahead and become part of the team. And unfortunately, because of her lack of security, that she's not married, she doesn't own a home, the boss, doesn't feel she's capable of holding down a job, because she could just take off at any minute because there's nothing grounding her. So she's sort of, not by her own choice, thrust into this situation where a white lie is told that of a fiancé is kind of created so that she will then get the promotion that she wants. And it's basically, she sacrifices her integrity in order to get ahead, and learns that that is not the way to do it. Scheme that her friend concocts, she's not responsible. What is the scheme? They create this boyfriend and this fiance, and when everything's going really well, he becomes famous because he saves a little kid out of a burning building or something. And then she has to deal with, everybody wants to meet him, and so she has to find him somewhere. And she has this photograph taken with him at a wedding, and that's how she has the photograph, that she says this is the fiance. So she has to find him and ask him to come and play this part, and then have a big fight so that they could break up and end the whole farce. It's hard in that the work is hard, but schedule-wise, we start at 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll finish at 6 o'clock at night, and on a feature film, you're there 5 o'clock in the morning, till 10 o'clock at night sometimes. I mean, the hours are crazy, and the work is very intensive for a shorter period of time, I guess. And Friends becomes like a second home. You know everyone, it's comfortable, and it's just about making people laugh and having a good time telling fun stories. Well, there's 6 characters that are completely different from one another that put together make this really great mix. And there's someone for everyone to identify with. There's the princess, there's the anal retentive, there's the A guy. I don't know what we'd call him. There's the nerd and the funny guy. I mean, there's there's a combination of all of these great people, and there's, I think, people identify, especially that age of, you're just getting out of college, where are you going to go, what do you want to do, you're not really sure, and all ages seem to really love it. I mean, I've had people in their 70s and 80s come up saying they loved it, their kids love it, they identify, they remember when, or I can't wait till I'm there, or I'm living through it now. It's sort of a lot that the writing is excellent. I mean, the writing is just unbelievably good. We're lucky. Well, you don't have very much privacy unless you're home or at work or at a friend's. And you going out to movies in a mall is a different experience than before. You can't just sort of walk around and not talk to anyone if you're having a bad day, or that's sorry. I don't know. It's up to, I wasn't raised on the West Coast, so I wouldn't know what that is like. I mean, I think it's different for every person. I think growing up in New York City is a lot different than growing up in Los Angeles. I mean, it's a rougher sort of experience. It's also unbelievable because you are so exposed to people every minute of every day, that's why I love New York so much. Los Angeles, as wonderful as it is, you're very protected in that bubble of a car going from one location to the next. You don't really get to experience life as it's happening. You're kind of very protected by it. No. I think it depends. It depends on the person. It's totally up to the individual. If they can handle it, they can handle it, But I think it explains why people in Los Angeles are so laid back. I don't know. And Friends, it's great. It works out perfectly because we do the show and then we finish. We have 4 months off, and you know, we have this window of time to do a movie. You could do 2 if you want to have no life, or if you're doing a, you know, extensive, harder film, then it'll take longer. But it's great, and also, you know, if opportunities come up throughout the season, you know, you're able to. Our producers are kind enough that they'll let us take the week that we have off and go do the movie, or you know, miss a day here and there. But that's on very special occasions. But that also hasn't happened. It's just happening. I mean, we're also just starting to have these opportunities in film, you know. So, thanks to friends. If I like it and if I would want to see it, if it's a movie that I would myself say, I want to go see this, or, you know, if it's good, the material is just very important. I mean, you can't think about box office. I mean, you could, and I'm sure a lot of people do, and I'm sure I will at some point, but what I want to hope to stick with is just doing really good work, and that's my main concern, is that it's a good movie. I mean, there is competition. I mean, I don't think of it as like I'm in competition with all these other actresses. I think the best actress will get the job, and the right actress for the job will get it. I mean, I don't think it has to do with, I mean, that's the hardest thing to try to understand as an actress. If somebody else gets a job and you didn't, it's not because you're not a good actress, or maybe it is, who knows, but sometimes it's just because you weren't right for the part. And it would be nice, it would be as much of a dream as it may be, that kind of hunger for you know, success and the competition, that sort of, you know, rat race would be eliminated a little bit. It would be a much kinder, gentler business. I would love that. I would love that. I mean, I don't want to just sort of settle into one comfortable niche. I would love to kind of challenge myself and you know, develop books and you know, and find scripts that are worth making. I think it's important to sort of think ahead in terms of lining up good projects, and to sometimes just stand back and just produce one or direct one or whatever. I think it's a good thing to sort of think about. It's all learning, though. You know, it's fascinating. There's a whole other world to the film.